I'm Abby, I'm TopKnot Stitcher, and we're back for a kind of like typical FlossTube chitty chat update. Can you believe it? It's been, I don't want to look at how long it's been since I've done like a standard let's talk about what I've been stitching kind of update, but like that's what we're gonna do today, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. If you're new here, hi, I'm Abby, I'm TopKnot Stitcher. I have an online cross stitch shop at topknotstitcher.com. If you need any cross stitch, would love if you check it out. I am going to talk a lot about things that are available in my shop, but I really don't want this to be like an infomercial to you. I just want to share what I'm stitching. And Nashville Market was a month ago now, and I've not gotten to chat about it with you all and kind of share the experience of going as a shop. This was my fourth market. Yeah, fourth market. Thank you all so much to those who did your market shopping with me. I super appreciate it. It is like the highlight of my year, and I love it. And I love that this is my job. And it is my job because of you all. So thank you so much for supporting me and my small business. So we are going to talk about market. I'm going to share some of the like top sellers in my shop this year, as well as like a selection of things I love from market, many of which were also top sellers, but also some things that I just felt like kind of got overshadowed or missed, and I don't want you to miss them because they're amazing. So I have a lot of like shop update stuff to share. But before we get into any of that, we are going to do a FlossTube update. I have haul, I have finishes, I have whips, I have new starts, I have plans, I have a sal to talk about. Like, we've got stuff to talk about, and I'm so excited. I also maybe will throw in a little bit of like retreat anecdotes, because I don't think I've talked to you all really since StitchCon 2023. I already don't know what year it is. Wow. Or I went to Stitch West in October. So maybe we'll chat about those, because I've got some stuff to share from that, because like that's how long it's been. Goodness. Cheers. Cold coffee. Delightful. Okay, let's just get into it. I'm going to start with the thing I am most excited about stitching on, which is the 324 sal that started on March 24th. I'm going to try to talk about this in a coherent way, but I'm so excited I don't know if I can. If you don't know, 324 by Works by ABC, Arlene Cohen, is this spectacular design, there we go, that came out at Nashville Market this year. This uses 324 different colors of DMC. Arlene is like an evil genius in the best possible way. I love this so much. I saw this, a few weeks before market. This was, revealed, and I had it up in my shop for pre-order, and I realized how much, I knew I loved it, but I started realizing how much I loved it when I was like, it's now like 2 p.m. and for 5 hours, I've left this picture open on my monitor from when I like went and added it to my shop. And I've just been enjoying looking at it all day out of the corner of my eye, to just like have it right there, right next to me. I thought, I really do love this piece. And I do. As soon as I saw this, I wanted to stitch it. And that has been such a rare feeling for me in the last couple years. Life has been really, really, really busy. And I've not done a ton of stitching. And I've not done a ton of stitching that hasn't been model stitching or deadline stitching in some way. Many of those being projects that I like loved and love stitching on, but it's a different energy, And I've just not been stitching that much. We moved, I've started a new job. If you don't know, I have a part-time job in addition to running TopKnot Stitcher shop, because we bought a house, so I have a mortgage now. So it's nice to have a job and a second income, a second stream of income rather. The shop has grown a lot. Thank you all for your support and your love, and following my journey all this time. I've been doing this for I've been doing FlossTube for almost 7 years. That's insane. It's a loose word because I haven't really been making that many videos in the last 4 of those years, but it doesn't matter. My business has been around for almost that long, although as a more full online needlework shop for 4 of those years. It's just amazing. and I love my life, but it has not yielded a ton of stitching time lately. And we just moved, so my life has been full of like house projects and still trying to unpack. We've been here now 3 months. Most of the house is very unpacked. The studio is still in progress. I have built 3 of these filing cabinets. I love them so much. But after being in here for a couple months, or really like a month of having like most of the shop part of the studio being unpacked, I realized this could be better. So I'm actually building 2 more of these this weekend. This weekend is already like, it's Sunday morning, so who knows? But what am I saying? The point is, life has been really busy, and I've been really longing for more stitching time in my life and being able to get into a habit of daily stitching, because I know how good that is for me and my heart and my brain, but it is somehow like just hard to make it happen, even though it's what I want to do. It's so much easier to just pick up your phone, you know? Or I'm like, oh, I would rather just like put thread away in the shop. And I do enjoy doing that, but it's not the same as stitching, right? Anyway, this piece I saw and I said, I want to stitch that. And that has been such a rare feeling. And that's been so exciting to be like reconnected with. And I also thought, you know what I'm going to do is stitch 1 square a day. And maybe sometimes I'll stitch more than 1 square, but I want to stitch 1 square a day. A very, like, I want to start small, because that's what you're supposed to do with building new habits, right? You start small and you build on it. You don't go all in being like, I'm going to stitch 2 hours a day, because that's not going to happen. And then as soon as you don't do that, then you're just racked with guilt and whatever. And you're like, I failed. I might as well give up. No, we start small, 1 square a day. So I decided I would be starting this on March 24th. And I shared about that on Instagram, and a lot of people said, hey, me too. So we've been stitching 324 using the hashtag 324SAL, S-A-L. If you're stitching this, please use it. I want to see it, even though hashtags are obnoxious and not that useful. It's better than nothing. If you haven't started it yet, start anyway, or you could start on 423, which is just 324 backwards. So if you've been like waiting to jump in and you want to wait till April 23rd, do that. Join us. I think no matter what, we should, this is Arlene's idea. I don't think Arlene had this idea of posting updates on 423. I love it. We're going to do it. So make a note. Anyway, I've been holding this up enough. This uses 324 colors of DMC. It is a beast to kit up. I have a complete set of DMC. I have the DMC chest, so I have a complete set of like skeins of DMC that part of me wants to leave as like a pristine collection, and the other part of me is like, you bought this to use it, you need to use it. But I was also curious to see how much I had in bobbinated form of like my working collection, and turns out I was missing a lot of colors. If you don't want to commit to 324 colors, there is a alternate color key that uses 36 colors and still has a really cool effect. And I've seen a couple people stitching this, and they're not super far yet, but you can tell it's beautiful. So that is available. But if you want a reason to complete your set of DMC, I mean, not complete because there's 500 colors and this uses 324, but if you want a reason to buy DMC, buy this chart. The chart's available in my shop. I have a few copies in stock still as of this moment, TopKnotStitcher.com. Okay, before I show you my progress, I want to talk a little bit about how I've gone about organizing the floss for this project, because each square is small. Half of them are 5x5 squares and half of them are 11x11 motifs. So you do not really need more than a strand, maybe 2 strands of your length of floss. But you need 324 colors. And this follows, like the general coloring of this follows the DMC color key, but that doesn't follow the number order, which is how most of us organize our DMC. So it's a time-consuming process to go through and pull it out and see if you have it and make a note if you don't, or if you're like me and you have your chest of DMC, you have your DMC bobbin boxes that are in number order, but then you have a big stack of floss that just like needs to be put away, or here's an extra skein, but it's not on a bobbin yet, and it's just a mess. This is the time to organize your floss. And so I saw through comments on Instagram the idea of making a baggie for each row of the chart, and that is what I have done. So the chart comes with a color key that is like an 18 by 18 grid that makes up 324 and has the numbers in that grid. So I have made a baggie for each row of that grid, and then was able to quickly but easily go through and make note of which colors I did not have, some of which I pulled from my chest, some of which I bought working skeins of. So even though I'm stitching 1 square a day, and I won't need a lot of these colors for a long time, and I'm not stitching it row by row, I'm stitching mine kind of in a diagonal manner, but I went through and I made up 18 baggies, and I don't know at this point how many of the colors I have prepared, but I have most of the first half of the project are in here, and a lot of the other half as well. So that was step 1, and it has been really, really helpful. It took longer than I expected. Step 2, I decided that as I was going through, because I figured like having them like this, great, I can like kind of easily find the next color I need. If I'm gonna go on a trip, I can pull the next few colors. If I'm continuing with just one square a day, like it's easy to just be like, oh, okay, this is the color I'll need tomorrow. But I realized that because you need such little floss, I was pulling out like a length of thread, and then I was using one in a couple of the motifs, 2 strands of that thread. And then I have like most of a length of thread left. I could put that back on the bobbin. I'm not gonna throw it away. That's a lot of wasted thread. But I was like, okay, why don't I make up a little thread card as I go, and I can kind of stitch kit past this in a way. Because I know my friend Birdie, and I think her mom, want to stitch this. And I have a lot of DMC, but don't have all of it. And she was like, oh, that's gonna be like so much fun, but also, I don't know if I can, like, I don't know how many of those colors I have. That's gonna be expensive and time consuming, and she's in grad school, doesn't have a lot of time, doesn't have a lot of money for her hobbies, you know? And I said, well, how about instead of throwing this skein aside or having a loose bit of thread, I just kind of kit it up as I go. And so that's what I've been doing. So I'm now kind of making up thread cards that this is, I forget exactly, because I'm not stitching it row by row. I'm stitching it like a 3 by 3 square at a time, and we'll kind of see what emerges. But I started just putting my leftover thread, and then in case her mom wants to stitch it too, adding an extra length of thread, just there's plenty and no one has to worry about it. So 2 little lengths of thread on here with the DMC numbers, and adding the row so they can find where it goes. And I'm planning to kind of send her a couple thread cards every once in a while as I go through. It also means that I can kit up the next like week of floss, and then be able to like just pick it up and stitch super easily. Okay, that's what I've been doing. It's been great. I also have a bag of all the colors that need to be put away because they've been stitched or pulled. So put me away. Haven't put any of them away. Whatever. Okay, do you want to see my actual progress now that we've been chatting for way too long? I love it so much. I love it so much. It is April, what is today's April? Today's April 7th. I've not stitched today's square yet. So this is like 2 weeks of stitching minus a day. I've stuck with 1 square a day. Mostly I just don't want this project to end. And mostly I've been stitching. I would love to really like get into where I get up and with my coffee I stitch. The problem is that if I do that, I stitch and I don't drink the coffee. And then I'm like, this is not gonna work for me. So instead I've been like having coffee time, and then I come into the studio, I sit down at my desk, and this is the first thing that I do, which is great. Because once I sit at my desk and I look at my email, I get swept into work, and then it's 4 hours later. And this way I start my day with a little stitching, a little creativity. Well, not really creativity because I'm following a pattern, but you know what I mean? A little stitching time, and it's perfect. So that might continue where I still just stitch 1 square a day. Maybe I'll experiment with stitching more. Maybe I'll get a little more obsessed with this and want to stitch way more. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens. I had the thought the other day, maybe I should also stitch 1 square at night. And I've just been sitting with that. Haven't done anything about it yet. But I have started stitching at night in the last couple weeks. Like, we're gonna talk about that. Okay, I love it. I'm stitching on 36 count stone linen by Fiber on a Whim. It's hard, it's not showing up great. It's a really nice light gray, like a super, super light, I'm trying to think of which of the, oh, it's too far up. Okay. A light gray. I'm stitching it 2/2. I really like having nice, fluffy, dense stitching. I wanted it to be like super saturated so you could see the color. The model is just stitched on white and it looks beautiful. I've seen a lot of people stitching on white or cream. I've seen some light grays. I really want to see what this looks like on a dark gray. Maybe that's what I'll do when I finish it, is just stitch it all over again on a dark gray or a black. I think that would look so good. So good. I would also love to see what it looks like stitched up on like some other color. You know, you run into the risk of some of the colors would get lost, but because there's so many colors, like if a few squares get a little bit buried, is that really gonna matter? No. Oh, it's just so good. Okay, we gotta move on because at this rate, we're gonna be here for 5 million hours. 324 Works by ABC. It is now available in her Etsy shop as a PDF. So if you've been waiting for the PDF version, now is your chance. It is here. Go forth and enjoy and stitch and use hashtag 324Sal. I love it. I have been using the perfect project bag for it. I won this in the Duck Derby last year, 2 years ago. I'm not sure. I forget the maker of it. I'm sorry. But I love it. It's perfect. And then I also was very happy to remember that I have, some rainbow scissors that demand to be used with this project. So I have a few of these in my shop as well. And then I added my New Jersey 2019 retreat fob. I met Arlene at the 2018 StitchCon. And then I saw her again at the Yes. Did I? Arlene, were you at 2019? Don't remember. Okay. I don't know. Everything's a blur. Everything's a blur. I can't remember. Maybe she was there. Maybe she wasn't. But then I did go to her New Jersey retreat in the summer of 2019. And I went again in 2021, 22. I don't know. Time is weird, right? The point is, this is an Arlene fob and it's an Arlene project and everything's rainbow and everything is great. Let's move on because can you tell I love this project? I love it so much. Quick update. If you bought the chart from me or from anyone like at market, there was a typo in the chart. So you'll see a number duplicated on, I think it's the second row. You'll see the same number right on top of each other. And one of those numbers needs to be updated. I guess I could just maybe tell you what that is right now while we're here so you can know. In the second row, there is a second 518. It should be 367. Nope. It should be 3760. I'll put it in the comment or the box thing. Put that away later. Okay, let's move on for real. What else have I been stitching? In this last week, I was in the mood to stitch and I have not fully unpacked my stash since moving. So I went to the box that was on top that had projects that I've stitched on somewhat recently and was like, I'm gonna pull one out and see what, if it calls to me and I'll stitch it, and if not, I won't. And I pulled out Matter's Choice, which I also worked on in January, before moving a little bit, before life got like crazily overtaken by packing and moving. And I worked in this in December. Oh, look at it. Oh, that's fun. I have almost the same needle minder as my other project. This is Matter's Choice by Carriage House Samplings. I started this in like 2018, 2019. I don't know. I'm bad at tracking stuff like that. I don't have the actual chart cover with me, so I can't show you the complete version, but this is like 2/3 of it, I think. There's a border down at the bottom, so we're in a solid like over halfway at this point. I'm very excited about it. I'm stitching this on some random old piece of linen that I don't remember what it is, using a dark navy floss. It's a Victorian motto. And I love it. I love the colors. I'm stitching it 1/2, which I think was the first time I stitched 1/2. Possibly. I've just been really, really loving it. Even stitching this alphabet. I don't love stitching alphabets, and it's been a pretty fun alphabet to stitch. So I pulled this out the other day and was working on it, and my husband came in and he was like, "You're stitching?" Because like I don't stitch that much. And I said, "Yeah." And he was like, "What are you working on?" And I showed him and he goes, "Oh, that's cute." And I was like, that's such an interesting response. Like, I wouldn't define this as cute, but it was like a positive response. Not that he's like negative about stitching. I don't know. It was just very curious because like I've yet to really identify like what is cross stitch that he aesthetically really likes, because there have been very few patterns that he's like, "Ooh, you should stitch that." And he's not like, "Oh, that's ugly. Why are you stitching that?" Like, he's never said that, but it was just very interesting. So maybe this will end up in our house. We have a lot of walls to fill with cross stitch, and we have not put anything on our walls yet. That's next. But maybe this will go somewhere. Oh, I didn't show you. It's all the way over there. I'm just going to briefly tell you. And if you watch, I did a Instagram live stream where I was kitting up 324 a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know. And it's up on my FlossTube if you want to watch the replay. But I found the perfect frame. We went to pick up something that we bought on Facebook Marketplace, and they had a table of free stuff, including a frame that is like a glorious, square, fancy, expensive frame that will fit 324 perfectly. And I'm so excited. It's like a black frame. It's got some like texture and detail, but nothing crazy, because you don't want to distract from like the beauty that is 324. I'm so excited. So that will probably, I really want that to hang in my studio, but I might be so proud of it that I need to hang it like in the entryway to the house, so it's the first thing I see when I walk in every day. We'll see. I don't know. Okay, so that's been my other recent whip. But let's talk a little bit about what I have stitched in the last year. I pulled out a few projects. There's probably a couple more, but I haven't unpacked them. So details of all these are going to be fuzzy. I'm sorry. But this I was stitching on in the summer with my sister, because she was stitching the same project. This is San Francisco. It's just by Tiny Modernist. I'm trying to remember. Maybe we can find out. I just moved stuff in the studio, so I'm not as familiar with it as normal. But yes, okay. This is fun. I actually don't know if all of these are in my shop right now. This is great. I'll go check. But this is San Francisco Tiny Modernist. She has a whole set of these little cities, different than the Pretty Little Cities from Satsuma Street. But San Francisco, New York, and Chicago are ones that might be in stock in my shop, or they will be after this video goes up. But I only plan to stitch San Francisco. This has been in my stash for a very long time. Vanessa picked it out, my sister, for herself at Market 2020 as her like return to cross stitch piece. And it was not a new release at the time, but she had them all in her room. So she picked it out, didn't start stitching it right away. Eventually she did. And now she's like a huge cross stitcher, probably stitches more than I do. But I had kitted it up at the same time as she did and never touched it. This is, I'm pretty sure this is Lagoon. No, this might be too late. I'm a great floss tuber. Ooh, a lens cloth. That will come in handy. Oh, I have the trick, whatever. Okay, calm yourself down. This might be on Lagoon Ada from Fiber on a Whim, which was also a new color that year. Was it? Or was that 2 years later? Maybe I didn't kit it up right away. Wow, I have no idea. It's on a light blue fabric. It's beautiful. It's the 16 or 18 count Ada. I'm stitching it in the called for DMC with the exception of Vanessa picked out I just have a little tangle of floss here. She picked out an overdyed for one of the colors. I think the blue is a slightly different color. I love it. I don't have that much left to stitch on it, and yet it has sat here untouched since June. But I stitched it with her, and that was very, very fun. And so it has been a project that I throw into my bag. It's gone with me back to Kentucky. It's gone with me to Salt Lake City. It went with me to Kentucky again for market this year. Haven't touched it since last June, but it is a easy project that I throw in my bag so that I have it just in case. I just haven't stitched on it yet, but I will continue to carry it around with me. And that's maybe part of why I haven't been drawn to stitching it at home, is it is such a nice little travel project. Although not a great travel project because there's not that much stitching left on it. And so I will run out of, I'll finish it and then I'll just be stuck. That would be terrible. Okay. Let's move on. My other new start to share was my StitchCon start. I offhandedly said, let's start Away We Ride at StitchCon, or I'll stitch on it at StitchCon. Sorry, my needle minder is being aggressively magnetic. And I left this project on a hoop for a very long time because I didn't plan to abandon it. My needle minder is stuck between magnets and in my fabric. Poor. Okay, yeah, that's a giant stack of magnets. Okay. I said kind of offhandedly, let's stitch on Away We Ride. And a lot of people were like, yes, and they made it a sale. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I started a sale. But I mean, I love it. I love to start a sale. I just don't always keep up with the sale. So I started this at StitchCon, and I, you know what Away We Ride is, but since it's right here, let me show you. And it's so easy to find things in my new studio. And I don't have the image to show you because I had taken a photocopy to StitchCon. Okay, here's Away We Ride, Blackbird Designs. This was reprinted last year. It's available in my shop. I love it. I've always loved it, and was like, I want to stitch it. StitchCon is the time. I did a color, not conversion, but I kitted it up from stash. So I ended up, changing out quite a few of the colors. This is what I have so far. Yes, this is the top. Okay. It's just, a nice chunk of the border. I switched my border colors. This is one of my favorite floss decisions. Look at these. So this is just, all kitted up from stash, and then a couple colors I didn't quite have. I got to go to my shop and be like, oh, what color do I need? It's so autumnal and spooky and perfect. But the main color I'm using in the border is Storm by Arranged Threads, and it's this really cool gray to brown that is perfect in this border. And the border uses two colors. So one is pretty variegated. It's gray and brown. It's showing up super gray here. It's super gray in general. But the other color in the border is a gray. So it's essentially, we got two grays and one brown going on. And I just love it so much. I'm stitching it on, did I leave the tag for myself? Yes. 36 count Hazelwood. I'm stitching it 1/2. Maybe I will stitch on it between now and StitchCon, maybe not. But I'll definitely bring it to StitchCon, because you know there's going to be people at StitchCon who started it last year at StitchCon. We took a photo as a group, who started it at StitchCon and then have finished it, and we'll bring it to show off and brag. But I will at least bring it and work on it, right? Yeah. Okay. I feel like I had something else I was going to say about this piece. I'm not sure. I do want to say that I love it. And I do want my needle minder to be in a better spot. And then we will kind of bundle it up and leave it off of the hoop and not twist it up in our little, these guys. I love using those to hold, like to bunch up the extra fabric that's hanging off of your hoop, and that's really nice to kind of corral it. Okay, so probably won't stitch on this until StitchCon. But maybe I will, who knows? The other thing I've definitely stitched on this year, well, within the last year, is my Owl Forest Whale. Because I stitched on this at a local retreat last April, May, and I'm going again, and we'll be bringing this. And I'm pretty sure I started this with Jen at StitchCon 2018, 2019, one of those. And she has now finished hers, so I need to finish mine. I don't have the picture of what this looks like, so use your imagination. This was a very popular piece a ways back. Haven't seen it around as much lately. It's by Owl Forest. This is using the Owl Forest threads, but I changed out my fabric for Picture This Plus Truffle, which is it's a lot pinker than it's showing up here. And I have been loving this piece, just not stitching on it very much. So it has also kind of become, I take it to retreats, and I'll take it to another retreat. Maybe I'll take it to StitchCon this year. I'll be at StitchCon Weekend A. So if you're there, come say hi, please. Or I'll come say hi to you. Okay, so there wasn't that much to show there. I have a few other projects that I pulled out in searching for stuff to show you on this video that I haven't actually, oh no, one of these I've started. So let me show you this. This is my Pixel Pixie Natural World Stitch Along, I think is what it's called. I think I might have it. Hold on, because it's available now. Or am I sold out right now? Okay, just kidding. Nope, not kidding. Oh, this is great. This is available in my shop too, I guess. This was Pixel Pixie's monthly stitch along last year. She just started a new one. I think the border is released, and the first, I think it's gonna be a band sampler this year. This was released in like chunks, but she has a band sampler this year. It's also like monochromatic or monochromatic friendly. It's beautiful biomes, I think. I didn't purchase it because I'm so far behind on this one. But it's great. Go check it out. This was last year's, released a month at a time. I love Christy, love supporting her. You can find her designs in print in my shop. And I really loved the concept behind this. So I bought it, and then I saw it, like I bought it sight unseen, which I don't often do. But then I saw the first release and I said, yes, I want to stitch that. So I started stitching it. It's now complete. It's now available in print or as PDF from Christy. It's charted, I think, for 2 colors. No. Well, I'm not sure. I think it was originally released as 2 colors. I think this is a Stitcher's finish, and it uses a few colors, and it's kind of what I'm doing, because this uses a dark blue, a dark purple, and a dark green. And that's kind of the direction I decided to go with it, because I picked out, I'll show you first my fabric. This is Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm in her Fabric of the Month club, and I think this might be the first time I've actually stitched on one of the fabrics. Whoops. Did I keep my, yes. So this is Scylla. 32 count linen is what I'm using. Let me show you what I've stitched so far. Another leaf needle minder. I guess I really love those. This is what I've done so far. So this is like most of January, or a good chunk of January, maybe not even most. Maybe it's even a little bit of February. I feel like that's, I don't know, doesn't matter because it's all out now. A little peahen, and I'm working on the Monstera, and I just bought a Monstera for my house. That makes me happy. I had a Monstera needle minder on the other project. It's just a Monstera party around here. I don't even know. I picked out this fabric, and then I went through my floss, and then I went through my shop, and I picked out some Threadworks colors that I thought would work really well with the theme of the piece. And I'm trying to pull out a palette to show you. So my border, I'm using this really cool variegated, I think this is called Peacock or something. It's number 01070. I did not write the name on it, but it's like, it goes between green, navy, and brown with maybe a little hint of purple. And so I then picked out a like deep blue purple, a green, a gray with a little bit of purple-ish hue to it, a purple, and a brown. So I'm going to be kind of picking between those for the different motifs as I go, and then using the variegated one for my border, and maybe somewhere else in it. I'm not really sure because I haven't stitched on it in maybe like 8 months. I do really love it. I do plan to keep working on it. I'm wondering how centered this is, or if I'm just really bad at, like, why did I start it so far over? Did I start it too far over? I might have started it too far over. Hold on. Okay, this is the halfway. Oh, I totally did. Okay, I totally started it. I mean, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna have like an inch. That's funny. Okay. I wonder how I did that. That is the problem with stitching in a Q-snap and not like taking your work out to look at it too much. Okay, so I'm gonna fold this over and let's see. So yeah, I'll have like an inch border over here. Oh, you never know. I've been stitching for like 25 years. But that's okay. Also, will I ever finish it? I don't know. We're gonna just be honest with ourselves there. Okay. Anyway, that's embarrassing, but glad that I do know that it will fit. It will just be a different framing journey. Not that I frame my work, so it's fine. Okay, those are my whips and new starts. I have been talking for so long. This is what happens when we don't make FlossTube videos. I have too much to tell you about all of my projects. All right, I do have some finishes to show. I'm gonna start with the least exciting, which is one that I maybe already showed, maybe not. I finished this at the Sacramento retreat last year. I don't know. This is, I love it. This is a Blue Flower freebie that you can get on her website. This was her like Be Well and Stitch release back in the day. This was like one of those other rare pieces that I'm like, I must stitch that immediately. And it's stitched mostly in the called for dinky dyes with a couple substitutes. It says Let Joy Be Unconfined, and that is the name of the chart. And I just thought it was spectacular. That tealy blue, I don't have my floss near me anymore, so I forget what it's called. The flowers, everything about this I love. I did swap a couple colors, I think, somewhere, because I had made a couple of substitutes, and then I didn't like where, like, I didn't like how they ended up on the flowers. So I think some of these I ended up kind of changing things out, or maybe removing a color altogether. I don't know. It's beautiful. So I want to frame this and have it in my office as well. So that was a piece. I think I finished it either at or shortly after that Sacramento retreat. This was my StitchCon finish last year. Oh, she's so pretty. This is Poppy by Hello from Liz Matthews, available in my shop as a chart. And it's stitched on a 20 count Aida. I love stitching on 20 count. And it's stitched using the called for NPI silks. So Olivia B. Hillside Rookery has floss packs for many designs that call for NPI silk. And maybe she has other, I haven't looked at her shop in a long time, so I don't know. But she put together some stunning floss packs for NPI for many patterns, from Kathy Barrick and Carriage House Samplings and Hello from Liz Matthews, who all use a lot of NPIs and give DMC conversions, but like, ooh, those silks, they're so luscious. And she has some that are like the full skeins, and especially the bigger projects, you need full skeins, but this is just a little guy. So you can get like a little set of just like the strands that you need to complete it. Amazing. I love it so much. This chart is also, I'm not going to pull it out, but I could. I'm not going to pull it out because you can see the finished version, but it is, she gives you this like gold colorway as well as a coral colorway, but I live in California and this is a thing that we have everywhere. So I picked to do the yellow. Although I kind of want to stitch one that's more orangey. I could just have maybe I will. Maybe I'll stitch one that's like more orangey and then I'll stitch the coral and then I'll have all three of them. Ooh. This is a very fun idea. I have more 20 count. This is, I think this is Night Sky 20 count from Fiber on a Whim. I have a couple other colors. I could do a whole little, ooh, this is, I like this idea a lot. Now I need to get some more NPI. Okay, so that was my StitchCon finish. And then this I finished, I think a long time ago. I just don't think I've ever showed you. It has been almost done for ages. And at some point in the last year, I finally added the remaining stitching. But this is Love Potion by Wild Violet Cross Stitch. And it is on, I think, another Under the Sea Fabrics color. So maybe I lied and that wasn't the first time I had stitched a project on my fabric of the month. I don't remember, sorry. But you can get this from wildviolet.co, probably. Definitely. I don't know why I said probably. Okay, so those are my finishes, my non-exciting finishes. And I say that because I have finished 2 Christmas stockings that I have yet to properly really show off. I posted them on my Instagram, but I haven't gotten to like talk about it. Long ago, before he was my husband said, will you cross stitch us stockings? And I said, do you know what you're asking me for? And I was picturing full coverage dimension style and was just like, that's gonna be a long process. And turns out he had something else in mind. He had more of a band sampler, simple style in mind. And I said, yes, absolutely. So first I stitched his stocking. Ah, look how cute that is. Look at that little train. This is a combination of a couple different patterns from an Etsy shop called Happinesst, I think. I'll put the link. And I've been on a journey with these stockings because I had a lot of moments of not liking the chart, not liking the design, not liking my colors, just like, what have I done? Not loving, I ended up stitching in sulky, stitching with 1 strand of sulky on 16 count. I had intended to stitch with 2 strands of sulky on 14 count, which I've done previously and really enjoyed and thought would give like a nice full saturated thing. But then I started stitching and realized my husband had actually picked out this color, which is putty or sage or something like that. It's a witch old Aida. And it was actually 16 count. And 2 strands of sulky on this 16 count was not comfortable and fun, so I switched to 1 strand. We've just been on a long journey. They're charted in DMC. I ended up reducing the number of colors used. So I have just 2 different greens and 2 different reds, and then yellow, gray, black, white. Yeah. I mixed up bands, I changed colors, I did lots of things. I had to design a coal tender because the pattern had just a train engine and you can't have, it has to have a coal tender, I have learned. So I had to chart a coal, like it's been a journey. But now I love it. My mother-in-law helped me finish it. Well, not helped me. She did the finishing for me to turn it into a stocking, which I am very grateful for because my sewing machine has been boxed up for a while and I want this. It's like, if this is going to be our stocking, it's got to be good. So she graciously helped me out with that. And then, so this I finished 2 Christmases ago, maybe last Christmas. I don't know. But this past Christmas, I finally stitched my own stocking with an orange cat, of course. I like mine more, not just the orange cat, but I think I didn't rage out at the pattern like I did for this poor one. So again, I bought a stocking pattern, I modified it, I moved bands around. We have matching elements, but they're kind of, mixed around. So there's some of the same bands, but some different bands, some different colors, not different colors, other than the orange. They're the same color palette, but like the same motifs stitched differently. You get it. I love how they turn out. They look really cute together. We did not have Christmas in our new home because we bought the house, had to do some work on it, didn't move until January. So this coming Christmas will be our first Christmas, and now we have our first Christmas having both of them hanging in our home on our cute little fireplace. Oh, it's gonna be so good. I love them. I love them so much. My mother-in-law also finished this one for me because then they could match. I'm so glad they're done. I ultimately really enjoyed stitching them, but I also did not. And I'm very happy with them. I'm very happy to be done stitching them. I could maybe like hang them up for us to enjoy back here, but I'm not going to. Okay. Those are our whips and your starts and finishes. Do you want to see a little bit of haul? Because I have a little stack of stuff, and then we're going to talk about market and shop updates. This is kind of both. So I have a few things that I haven't even opened because that's how busy I've been. Okay, let's start though with, I bought this beautiful project folio from Rika, House of Stitch and Stash. I bought this from her at Stitch West because I love anything that has not just like the color orange, but has oranges. And it's sometimes like hard to find because there's lots of like lemon stuff, and this has both obviously, but it's like kind of hard to find stuff with oranges, I've discovered. And she had this and I saw it and I was like, I need this immediately. And this thing is beautiful. I have not actually used it yet. I will. I'm going to bring it to my Sacramento retreat, so I need to pick a project that can go in here. It's got a little zippered pocket. It's got a pocket back here. It's got the felt for your bits of thread. It's got a pocket here. This is a thing of beauty, and it is expensive, but it is worth it. It's really nicely, got nice interfacing. That's the word I'm looking for, the interfacing. It's just, I love it. And I love the idea that like, if you're like me and there's never a clean surface around, not clean, but like uncluttered surface, you can open this up and then you've got like workspace. Amazing. So I'm excited to have this for retreats, even though I'm also kind of terrified of getting it dirty because it's so light colored. But then like, it's not like my stitching ends up super dirty, so this should be fine. I love it. She has like a subscription monthly club for these, I think. I don't know if she sells them outside of that right now, but if she does, you should get one because they're beautiful. This I think was like the only thing I really bought for myself last year for stitching, with an exception. We went on a road trip. This is, hold on, I did not take this out of paper. My husband and I went on a road trip last summer, and that included like the Pacific Northwest. And so we went to Portland. So I got to stop briefly because we had like, we were in Portland, like Sunday to Tuesday, and the shop is closed Sunday and Monday. So we could only go Tuesday, and we had a really limited window between them being open and when we had to like be on the road. But I got to go in and spend a little bit of time browsing around, said hi to Janine. It was a lovely little visit, and I picked out the Artsy Housewife Summer Solstice because like, look at it. Look at her. She's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Have I started it? No. I did buy a few. Are they in here? No? Yes. I bought a few of the colors. Well, one of these is for something else. Actually, two of these might be for something else. Are any of these for this, or did I buy colors for something else entirely? No, this is stitched. This is in DMC. Just kidding. I don't know what these are for. I bought these for a reason. These Gentle Art colors. I know I bought this one because it's in the Quirky Quaker Mouse. Maybe these are in the other winter Quirky Quakers. That's probably it. We'll talk about that some other time. I'll put those in my stash. But I bought this and I love it. I have not stitched it. Would love to stitch it. Maybe we'll kit it up and make it a retreat start this year. I don't know. I love the Artsy Housewife. I now carry her stuff in my shop as well. Did not at the time. I don't think I actually have this pattern available in my shop, but I don't know. It just spoke to me. Her use of colors is just so good. I got to meet Gigi at Market and she is delightful. Her stuff is beautiful. I'm really excited to see her journey as a designer continue because she just continues to amaze and impress. We're stacking things up. Okay, sorry, that was crinkly. I'm going to show you a few months of my Under the Sea Fabrics monthly club. Haven't opened these 2 months. So she's been on a whole like tea inspired kick. So this was a recent month. This is Orange Pico. Do I still get 32 count? Maybe I should see if I can switch to 36 because I like 32 count a lot, but I also really like 36 and have been gravitating towards that a lot lately. Just make a note. This is Orange Pico, a really nice light pink. Let's see what else we've got. I'm sorry I did not pre-open these. Hold on. Hold on again. We're gonna open both of them. Ah! It's stuck. Okay, hold on. Okay. Ooh, this is Rooibos. That is a lovely... Do you know it would be really cool with some color changes? Because a lot of these colors are too similar, like the rust and the reds maybe are too close, and maybe this would be terrible, but maybe not. Do you know what would be beautiful? That's a better fit. Okay, that might happen. This is 152 by 127. Oh, I can totally see that. Okay. There's a couple of light pinks, so maybe I would change a couple things. But overall, I think that could work very nicely. This one is not tea named. This is Frigga. Ooh, she's pretty. Do you know what would be really good? I might like that better, actually. I think I do. I think that would be beautiful. Okay. Making plans. This is great. I also signed up for the Endangered Species Club from Lindy Stitches because, oh, I got a jam. Stephanie, has a new, I think it's a quarterly? Bi-monthly. Quarterly. I don't know. No, bi-monthly, because there's going to be 6. Okay, it's a club for this year. Let me stop flashing you an empty envelope with an old address and let me show you. The actual chart and series. I signed up for physical charts with floss. I don't know if that's available anymore. I think you can still sign up and join. I don't know any of the details for this, so go to her website and find out. But this was the first month that she posted, and I said, yes, please. So I signed up for the year. It was my like moving present to myself. So the first month is the Amore leopard. I don't remember if that's how you say it. He's beautiful. Look at him just draped on that tree. He reminded me a lot, not of Jam, but of my sister's cat, Rory. Don't tell Jam. I mean, Jam's not like a draper, but Rory totally is. And so this series will feature an endangered species with every release. And what I love about Stephanie's designs is that she uses overdyed threads in a very smart way with many designs, in that she uses them where you're going to be able to really like see and appreciate the variegation. So like this tree, that is one variegated color, but stitched in this way, you get really cool striping on the tree. Amazing. And then let's see, our other color is chickpea, which I'm guessing is like the tiger's fur, right? So you get like you can really like see and appreciate it. And then the rest is TMC. So I signed up for getting the chart with the overdyeds, whoops, and I'm very excited about it. I've been busy, so I didn't even open him, which I feel a little bit bad about, but what are you gonna do? The next month just came out, and it's an elephant, and he's adorable. This is the African savanna elephant. Look at him. Look at that little moon. Look at him. I love when there's like fun texture like that. I love his stripy ears. Again, these palm fronds, maybe, if that's what they are. I think they are. That's one color of variegated thread. It is Cape Cod from Weeks Dye Works. And then when you stitch it in the way directed, which I think she also put up a tutorial video for satin stitches, she gives you a little like lesson about the endangered animal. And yeah, it's just so cool. They're so cool. I would love to stitch these. Don't know when I'm going to start them. Doesn't matter. I'm glad to have them. And glad that I, bothered to open this one within its delivery. Oh, look, I also got a sticker. There was a sticker in the other one too. So check out her website if you need to know more. Let's put you safely back in one of these envelopes and put you in our pile of stuff to put away. Okay, a couple other things that I bought for myself at Market. So we're venturing into Market territory. This year at Market, I signed up for a class from Lady.Creates and Erica Michaels Linda Stoles of Erica Michaels Designs, which was this super cute, fun, see how they run design. And this it's so silly and happy and colorful. I signed up, I think we had maybe a little picture of it. I don't know. I just signed up because you do anything that Lady does. Lois is a creative genius. She's super funny. She's hilarious to be around. You learn from her every time. You laugh a lot. If you can do a class or anything with her, you do. And so I was like, yes, I will sign up. And it was this super cute little design with the 3 blind mice. And then this like, I don't know, just like the things she creates, the things that she thinks of. And so for our class, she kind of just like walked us through how to finish it. And there are finishing packs. I might be sold out of these. I can get more. A little finishing pack with all the instructions and all of the materials. If they're not in my shop and you want one, let me know. We can get more. And then the chart, and for the class participants, we got the threads as well. The threads do not come in the finishing, threads and fabric don't come in the finishing kit. It was just a little class special. But this chart's available in my shop. It was exclusive for a while, but I think you can get it from any LNS now. And it just makes me really happy. Am I going to stitch it? I don't know. Am I going to finish it? I don't know. But am I really glad I have it? Yes. Yes, I am. Oh, it's just cute and fun. And they are fun to be in class with. So that was one of my Market purchases. Well, really just the class was my Market purchase, whatever. The other thing I bought for myself at Market is also, this is available in my shop. I have sold out, but I have more on the way. So these are listed for pre-order right now. This is the Cross Stitch Buddy Ultimate from Stitchy Pros. It's really cool. Ooh, that's a fun demonstration of this. It is designed to be used against light or dark fabric. So you can see it's printed with black, but look, with my hair is helping me illustrate that it also has, it's like outlined in white. So you can read it on any color, any count of fabric. And you need to be able to, because this is full of tools. It's this like 8-in-1. Is it just 8? I think it's an 8-in-1 tool that solves a lot of problems. You have a it solves a lot of problems. You have a 17-inch ruler. You have 3 different thread winder lengths. So if you have like DMC or any brand of thread that's a continuous long multi-yard piece and you want to be able to cut it into consistent lengths of thread, I am a person who just generally like, and I call it good and I just eyeball it. But if you like to have more aesthetically enjoyable threads, thread winders are super helpful. So you hold it down, you wrap it around, you make one cut, and then you have a whole bunch of equal length threads. They're brilliant. This gives you 18-inch, 24-inch, or 36-inch lengths of thread. Amazing. You also have a corner gauge with your standard 2, 2.5, and 3-inch markers. You have a little needle guide if you're not sure what size needle to use on what count of fabric or with how many strands of thread. I don't keep my needles organized. I just try things out till it feels right. But if you want like an actual recommendation, you've got it at hand. You have a little like sizing guide to figure out, like to calculate the stitched area and your margin for, framing and whatever. You have if you're not sure what count your fabric is, or you're like, this is supposed to be a 32 count, but maybe it shrunk a little bit in the dyeing process, because like that can happen. Maybe it's a little bit more like a 30 count now. I don't know, or a whatever. You get it. It's got a little fabric count gauge. I didn't know what the right gauge definition was, but a fabric count gauge. And then you also have a little guide to stitching with how many strands over 1 over 2 on different counts of fabric. You have a little like recommendation thing. Is that it? Stitch size formulas, finishing formula, floss length, fabric count, ruler, needle size, guide strand. Yeah, okay. We got it all. It's amazing. So again, these are available in my shop. It's a little pricey because shipping, it's like just a little too long to stitch in anything standard. I might have made a better shipping supply purchase, so I might be able to lower or refund the shipping cost. But it is so worth it. I will also have these with me. Oh, I'm going to a local Sacramento area retreat, so I'll have them with me at Sacramento. If you're there. Okay, so that was one thing I bought for myself. I have already used it. It has come in very handy. That's how I know, like I used it, because I confirmed that my Matter's Choice fabric is in fact 36 count. And I'm really glad to be able to know that for sure. Okay, a couple other things I bought or picked out for myself at Market were 2 Lap and Loops fabric colors. I think I still have both of these in stock in a couple different counts. But this is, I don't remember, one or both of these might be new colors. I'm not really sure. But this is Stone Fruit, and it's a lovely peachy pinky modelly perfection. And this is Sunshine Days or Sunny Days? Sunshine Days. And it just made me so happy. You know what it would look great with? I'm gonna keep changing my mind on this fabric. But it would also look great for that. So I've got that in a few counts as well. And they just made me really happy. So I decided they needed to go into my stash. And that is my haul section. Now we're gonna talk about Market. I don't even know what to say about Market. It's such an unreal experience. You're probably tired of hearing people talk about Market. I feel like I'm kind of tired of hearing people talk about Market, even though market consumes my life for like 2 months out of the year, because it's like the lead up to market and all of the prep, and then it's all of the shipping and fulfillment of market orders, and I'm still working on putting stuff away in my shop from market. But it's just the best weekend of the year, because I get to see so many cross stitch friends. I get to meet new people. I get to like actually meet designers who I've talked with and ordered from, but get to actually see in real life. You get to see the cross stitching in real life. You get to just be together with all the people who speak your language and like understand stitching in a way that you do. And it's kind of like having a giant slumber party that's also a business meeting for 3 days. And it's just hard to describe. So I went to market with my sister, who is the best market helper in the entire world. She, like, I could not do market without her. She keeps me sane. She makes sure I take breaks. She makes sure I drink water and eat food and go to sleep. She follows me around all weekend, and I just boss her around. And I feel sometimes like I come off a little bit rude, and I feel bad about it, but I'm just, like, we have our own language and it just works, right? And so, I started at the start of the weekend, I'm like handing things to her, or I'm like asking her things or asking her to do things, and she's like already doing it, right? Or she's already taking it out of my hands. And so at the end of the weekend, I'm just like holding things out regardless of where she is in the room, right? And she appears and she takes it up to the room, and it's just, she's my second brain and my second set of hands. And I could not do market weekend without her. It also becomes increasingly fun because, you know, more and more people know her, and she's also friends with many of my stitching friends. She is a stitcher herself and stitches more and more. She stitches and finishes more than I do, and it's just fun to like watch her stitching journey. And then I take over her house for about a week and a half, and I fulfill market orders from her house in Louisville before coming back to California with the rest of market stuff. And you know, she has a part-time job and is in school to become a court reporter, so she's busy, but she also takes on a part-time job with me for those 2 weeks. And in addition to like letting me take over her house, she also packs a lot of those orders and still makes sure that I like take breaks and feed myself and all of that. So truly could not do market without her. You may have been lucky enough to get a little note from her on your order. But almost definitely, if you shopped with me for market, she was involved in packing your order in some way. So thank you to Vanessa for her incredible help. Let's take a sip of cold coffee. I don't really know what else to say about market. I don't know how to, like, I don't want to name names because I'm going to leave a billion people out. But it's such a special, wonderful time. And I do want to say thank you to Ryan. Wild Violet also was a shop helper for me. I put her in lines on Friday night because for a lot of market things, you know, shops can take pre-orders from our customers. We can also place pre-orders with designers and dyers, but there are some things you cannot place pre-orders for. And for that reason, it's really helpful to have extra hands and extra bodies to stand in line and shop at, you know, when the show opens at 4:00. So that first night is pretty frantic and hectic and stressful. And then the rest of the weekend remains pretty frantic and hectic and stressful because there's just so much to do. There are many rooms I did not have time to go into, and I really wish that I did. There are a lot of people who I got to chat with very briefly, but didn't get to really like talk to, and wish that I could. There's a few people who are just, I don't know. How do I want to say this? It's really special to get to be at market with people who have been with me on my TopKnot journey for like the whole thing. One of those is Arlene Cohen. So hi, Arlene. I'm going to brag about you for a minute. We talked about her at the beginning, the designer of 324, which was her biggest market seller for her and for my shop. But she visited market as like I don't want to say prospective designer because she was a designer, but she visited as a just guest designer before she exhibited. And she visited Market with me in 2020. And I was there as a buyer, but it was my first time. It was her first time figuring things out. And to just like look at now at like how we've both grown in our roles, and like now she exhibits at Market and has for a few years, and like she's doing so well and her designs are so good, and like to see her have such a successful, wonderful market, and to get to like see her and hang out with her and talk to her, and like we had breakfast together one day, and it's just so good. It's so special and wonderful to get to spend time with people who, you know, we live on opposite sides of the country. It's not easy to see her, but to get to like see her and be a part of her cross-stitch journey as she is a part of mine is just so special and cool. And like that applies to many other people who I got to interact with at Market, but she's gonna be the only one I brag about right now. Okay, that's a little bit of my Market recap. Let's talk a little bit. I've got 2 little boxes of stuff that I want to share with you from Market. Some of this is like super old news because these came out a month ago, but we're going to talk about them anyway. I want to show you the top 3 sellers in my shop. What did I do with you? Did I put, oh, that's what I did. I stole a copy of 324 from myself. Okay, so I had 3 top sellers at Market, and they kind of kept all trading places of which one was the top seller. At the start of Market, I think it doesn't matter the order. I'm just going to show you. So we have 324, which was to me ultimately my best seller of Market. Trying to make sure I put these into stacks where I know what needs to go away. Another huge seller in my shop was Spring Quaker by Primrose Cottage. This caused a little bit of a kerfuffle for Market. I'm not going to talk about it. You've all heard. But it's absolutely beautiful. It is stitched using Classic Colorworks Blooming Crocus. I have some in stock in my shop right now. You will need 3 skeins if you're stitching on 28 count 2/2. Probably only need 2 skeins for larger counts, but stitch with your heart. It's just so sweet and pretty. They have a whole series of these like seasonal and holiday Quakers. Patriotic Quaker also came out at Market. I was a little surprised at just like how big of a seller this was, but also not surprised because it's beautiful. I'm excited to see people stitch it and pick like multiple colors for it. I haven't seen any yet, but I haven't really looked for it yet. So Spring Quaker, and then my other top seller, like these dominated in my shop by far. My other top seller was Frosty Tiny Town by Heart and Hand. It's so sweet. I just helped someone kit this up this week. I don't know. Hi, Michelle. And pulled all of the called for colors and then was helping to like floss toss and pick out fabric. I can sometimes help kit up projects. It is not a service that I like super publicly offer and advertise because it is dependent on my capacity at the time and my shop's inventory at the time. Because if I have to make a lot of substitutions and recommendations, that takes up a lot more time and it's harder to do. I am other than Market, when I have my sister's help, like I am a 1-woman operation. So I just can't always do that kind of thing. But if you're ever interested, reach out and ask, and I will let you know your options. So I got to kit this up, and the colors for this are just so spectacular. Like the blues and the greens, it's wintry. I don't like winter. I don't like being cold. I don't like snow, but I love Frosty Tiny Town. Oh, so not surprised that it was also a huge seller. She also released Anytown Tiny Town, as well as more Anytown Tiny Town, which you can also like mix and match and make your own Tiny Town. But this was like, I probably sold 4 times as many Frosty Tiny Towns as I did the others. Oh, I love the Tiny Town series. I love getting to go in the Heart and Hand room and like see all the Tiny Towns and the little drums and the little frills that you can like add or just stitch as they're amazing. Okay, My other two biggest market sellers were, well, I'll save that one, the new Classic Colorworks colors, Weather Vane, London Fog, and Misty Mauve. I couldn't remember the first word of it. They sold them as a little pack, and you could get this fun little freebie chart. I'm out of the chart, but I do have all the threads in stock as a set or individually. The absolute bestseller in my shop is the Nashville Needlework Cookbook. Happiness is Homemade. This is something they have done every year, I think since 2019. And it's an exclusive cookbook that only shops who attend market are able to purchase. I sold out shortly after market, but they did another print run. So those will be arriving in like a week or so, hopefully. So I do have some available for pre-order. I'm almost sold out of the additional copies that I purchased. So if you want one, you should pick one up. This is a great little cookbook. I flipped through it. Honestly, I don't cook a lot, so there are not really recipes of any kind that I'm excited about, just to be honest. If you cook, you will probably find something in here. But the really fun thing is that this has over 40 cross-stitch patterns. And I'm trying to find. A lot of them don't have a model picture with it. I'm gonna use Bobbin to help me here. Look at this little hiking squirrel. This is from the Blue Flower. This is in the cookbook. He's so cute. Cookbook is 12 bucks, I think. And if you stitch, even if you just stitch like one of these, a little tiny squirrel, that might be an expensive squirrel, but if you stitch some of these are like good size patterns. The Teresa Kogut one that's in here. Oh, there's a cute little like Christmas tree. That's not Teresa Kogut, that was Lucy Beam. There's a really cute Teresa Kogut pattern that I want to stitch. It's got a bird, he's got a top hat, it says something about stitching. It's really sweet. But there's a lot of good patterns. I know I'm just flipping this off screen and that's like no help, but just know that there's lots of good stuff. I don't know where that one is. Sorry. Okay, but the cookbook. It's a huge seller every year. This year dominated. And pick one up if you want one. Okay, we're gonna go through some other top sellers kind of quickly because I'm getting tired of talking and hearing myself talk. But I also want to talk cross stitch. Oh, it's the best worst problem to have. So we're still in bestsellers in my shop. These are all like amongst my like top 20. They're in no particular order and not all of the top 20. The Animal Crackers from Stacy Nash. They're all adorable. There were 3 new ones this year. A cute little squirrel, a cute little rabbit, and a cute little mouse, Bobbin. Bobbin was my shop's bestseller of the Animal Crackers. He's so cute. His little needle and the little thread goes through, and then you put him on a spool. Are you kidding? He's so cute. And he's got a cute little like berry basket pincushion with him. He's so sweet. I love him. I need to stitch him. I've got 2, oh, it's on the other thing. Okay. JBW Design just blew me away this year. This is Flights of Fancy. It's these sweet little birds. They're so delicate and beautiful and the colors are so soft and yet it's so good. I don't know what it is about this. I don't know, but I love it. I love it. And so did you all. Yes. Okay, another Heart in Hand. She really had a great market. Heart in Hand, Cecilia released Floral Etchings 2 this year, which is these 3 little flower designs. And she stitches these up all like this, right? But then also as like little smalls. Or one of them she stitched, I forget which one. She stitched on like 11 count or like 14 count over 2 or something. So it's like super oversized. It's super fun. You can do so much. So last year, Floral Etchings was released. Now we have Floral Etchings 2. And then the chickens. I might be sold out of this again currently. I'll get some more. But this is Funky Chickens by Satsuma Street. So silly, so colorful. She says so easy to finish, and I believe her because Jody would not lie to us. They each say something different on the butt. Like what the cluck. They're so cute. I'm so happy that they were so beloved because they deserve it. Okay. I showed you the new classic color works. There's also 5 new weeks colors. They're available as a set or individually. There are 3 new colors of Fiber on a Whim fabric. I have sold out of all of my Fox and Rabbit. And I showed you a couple of the lap and loops, and I think that's all I have left of Market fabrics, but I do have some Fiber on a Whim. They have new colors, including Moonstone, a delightful neutral, Malachite, this like amazing deep green. It is, I have one with me. It is like anything, it's going to dye differently on different fabrics. So it's lighter on Ada. So here's the linen. I don't know how this is going to show up on my camera, but we have the linen, Ada, a little bit lighter. And then the Lugana on this one dyes really differently. So it's more like army green. Ooh, that's actually a nice, that's showing up very accurately. But it's just like, for these at least, a really saturated, beautiful green color. There was a new Hello from Liz Matthews design on these, or on this. And then my favorite color is Sapphire. This is, I have some in 20 count Ada. So if you love 20 count Ada, do not hesitate, run, do not walk. It's just such a beautiful saturated green. And Liz put 2 new releases on Sapphire. I don't have those to show, but you've probably seen them by now. Okay, and then one of the other big favorites that I'm going to show you because I just restocked the threads, we have American Welcome by Plum Street Samplers, which was a previous retreat exclusive and now available. Paulette had like 8 new releases and they were all glorious, and she's an overachiever. But this pattern is stitched with color and cotton threads and DMC, so you will need additional threads than this. But I just want to show you, oops, because they're very beautiful. And honestly, a fair bit of overlap with colors in the Frosty Tiny Town. So I don't know, these are 8-yard skeins. The model is stitched 1/2. If you're stitching differently than that, you might not have that much extra, but Frosty Tiny Towns are little, they're tiny. So you don't need that much of colors, but like there is like a light and a dark kind of tealy blue in Frosty Tiny Town. There's a couple different greens. There's a dark color like this. There's a little bit of red. This is not that far off from the Tiny Town palette. This is, I think, 8 colors, and Frosty Tiny Town is 12. But I'm just gonna put that idea out there. So I just got these restocked. They are in my shop along with the chart. Okay, so that concludes our like top bestsellers of Market. But then I have Abby's favorite things that I want to share. These are in no particular order, but just things that I also really loved or want to talk about from Market, or that may have also been bestsellers, may have just been things that I just think got maybe overshadowed in all of the things, you know? Okay. Sorry, I'm realizing that I please hold. Okay. Sorry, I got a notification. Couldn't check it on my phone because you're on my phone, and here we go. Stitchy Pros had a couple of releases. She had like 5 releases, so we could talk about any of them, but she had a couple of releases stitched using Cottage Garden threads, who were also at Market, and I got to meet them, and they're so adorable, and we'll talk about them more in a minute. But she had this release, Cardinal's Promise. Whoop, there we go. Look how beautiful it is. When you see a cardinal, know this promise is true. I am never far away, and I'm always here with you. And it's just so sweet. And the colors are glorious. I have Cottage Garden thread packs available as well. You'll also need a couple DMC colors. Oh, she has another pattern, Outnumber the Shamrocks, which also has a cottage garden thread set, and they're just really beautiful. And I was in their room a lot because I'm friends with them and they were around the corner from other friends, and so I was just like in that area of the hotel a lot, so I got to pop in a lot and see them and see Heidi, Holly's daughter, and it was a great time. Huh, this has a rip. I will probably repackage that. And I'm just really proud of her. This, Counting Puddles, Lindsay, is a new designer, newer designer. This was her first market, and this was one of my favorite releases from her, her new Nashville collection. This is Modern Botanical Wedding Sampler. If you haven't seen it, now you've seen it. She uses color so well. She uses texture so well. It was so cool to get to see all of her designs in person. The models, like, you know, a photo can't do it justice, but like especially something like this. This one still has some, but her designs use a lot of backstitching to create that like texture and movement, and they're not for the faint of heart if you are like me and don't like to do complicated things. It's not that complicated, but it's a lot. It's just beautiful, and the colors are similar to my own wedding bouquet colors. I kind of want to make it bouquet. I say it differently every time. It was really cool to get to meet her. I've carried her stuff in my shop for a while, and so I'm just like so happy to see her doing so well, you know? I didn't have anything to do with that, but I'm just really excited about it. Let's save threads. Let's go through, you're not actually from Market. You are other news, Market. Okay, we're just gonna see whatever order these are in, right? I don't know what it is about this little bunny. I posted her on my Instagram this week because I realized I just feel like she hasn't gotten enough love. This is by Pansy Patch. This is Hester's Easter jumper, and she's just so sweet. I don't know. I just love her somehow. Like, this would not typically be my style, but there's something about her. I think it's her floppy ears, or her like big old apron dress. I don't know. Or her little, I don't know, the colors, something about it. It speaks to me. Oh, here's another little bunny. Little bunny, but a bunny. This is Stacey Nash Tulip Field, Tulip Field Pin Keep. There we go. And it's just this real sweet little like mattress finish. Little patch of tulips with a little teeny tiny bunny. So sweet. I feel like all of Stacey Nash's other, like 6 other releases got a little overshadowed. No, 7. I think she had 10 total. I think they all got a little overshadowed by the animal crackers, which are stunning and deserve all the attention, but like, don't forget this sweet little guy. Don't forget this little chonker, Chubby Bee by Jeanette Douglas. There's also Chubby Fox, Chubby Bird, and Chubby Bunny, but Chubby Bee, like, look at this bee in proportion to the beehive. He's a chunky boy, and I love him. Let's talk briefly about the Log Cabin Christmas series from Little House Needleworks. This is a new stitch-along series that they're doing. It's releasing, I think they said 2 a month, so at Market, this is kind of a blurry photo. It's like a sketch, that's why. Where's the first one? There's the squirrel. Okay, I don't have the chart with me here, but this is what it will look like in the end. Releasing as 9 different charts. 2 of them are available so far. One of them is in my shop. It might be sold out. I don't know, but I do have a couple of the thread packs left. So the classic colorwork thread packs that you'll need to stitch the whole series. I'm excited to see this popping up places because it's something that I love, but I'm also like, personally, I'm not going to stitch it, but I like getting to see it, you know? So I've got some of those. Let's talk about JBW Designs again real quick. I have a handful of these limited edition kits left. These were a huge seller, and it surprised me a little bit but it also doesn't because it's just so sweet. It's so cute. It's everything you need, almost everything you need to make this cute little flat fold ornament, an ode to red. So you will need the DMC for stitching the design. You get DMC to make the trim, the cording, but you'll need a handful of colors for this. But like you won't need much. It's not very big, but it's the sweetest little baggie. I think this would make such a sweet little gift. Either the finished thing or the whole little kit would make great little gifts. Oh, I like when things are packaged well. I guess that's part of it. Okay, another thing that would be really fun as a little gifty gift are these sweet little bobbins from Heartstring Samplery. These were designed to go along with Scenic Sampler, which I'm sold out of, but it's kind of the complement, well, not really compliment. I mean, well, it's sort of a companion, sort of the opposite of Scary Sampler, which was released a year or two ago. It's a really sweet little piece. Scenic, sweet, both words apply very well. But these cute little bobbins, each one can fit like 4 skeins of thread, so like the full set with your project. How adorable! Or just like a cute little bobbin for anywhere that you need to stick cute thread. This sheep, I just cannot. But a sheep, a butterfly, a bee, I could not keep them in stock. I do still have a good little stash of them right now. They smell good. They're made from trees on their farm. Like, are you kidding? Okay. I need to show off Vineyard Fair. And I say that because I live in wine country, so I just feel kind of like it's my job to promote this chart. This was a new release from October House Fiber Arts. She has a whole series, this like fair series, which is, you know, a big old beautiful textured, delicious thing. There's Strawberry Fair, Honey Fair, and Pumpkin Fair, and now Vineyard Fair. And I just, sorry for the glare, I just really love it. This was not new for Market exactly, but it was back again at Market. This came out a while back. This is a Lady Dot Creates little like kit to make this cute little, it's called a tiny tucket pocket. I don't know, but I am sold out of one colorway, but I still have this red, white, and black, and it's everything you need and all the instructions to make this just like cute little accessory. And if you're like a finishing chicken like me, this is the kind of kit for you to like prove that you actually can make things. I'm going to continue to be a chicken though. Okay, so I've got some of those. I've got, let me show you 3 more charts. And then we're going to talk about some thread. So first up, we have Mementos of the Heart, which is a little booklet from Heart in Hand. And I feel like this got overshadowed by all of her other cool stuff. But it's really cool because she gives you, so it's like 7 designs. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 7 designs. 6 of them are previous year's collector's heart, which are like kits and eventually go out of print. So it's several previous collector's heart, and then there's 1 bonus design. But in addition to that, she gives you like cute little notes and stories about her process and her inspiration and a whole little like letter. And I had the most fun flipping through this. And she gives you like a whole little chart for personalizing stuff. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful, and I feel like it got missed. So now you know. I think I pulled this one out on accident, so I'll show it off anyway. This is Seasonal Etchings, Heart in Hand, previous etchings that go well with floral etchings. Okay. Arabesque by Jan Hicks. Jan Hicks brings her cat to Market. And Nina last year was like in the back room, but this year Nina got to hang out on the couch, and you got to go in and just pet her. And she was the chillest, happiest cat. And it was the best room in all of Nashville because Nina was there. I did not take a picture with Jan Hicks. I did take a picture with Nina. No regrets. But Arabesque was one of her market releases, and it is a monochromatic piece. It's stitched in this glorious red. It would be so pretty stitched in so many colors. It's this super fun Art Deco style, and I love it. I'm waiting to be inspired of which combination of thread and fabric I want to stitch it in, but then I will stitch it eventually. Okay, and then the last chart I'm going to show off is also from Works by ABC. This is Wild Rose. This is kind of a follow-up to her nesting dolls from last year, which were like, you stitch on perforated paper and you build actual three-dimensional, you can nest them nesting dolls. Amazing. And so she was like, what else can I make that's 3D? And so she made this really cool little vase and flower. And she says it's not that hard. And I believe her because Arlene doesn't lie. The chart includes a couple sheets of perforated paper, which is more than enough to stitch this design. It's stitched in DMC. It comes with instructions. It comes with a cute little button for your cute little flower. And then you have a cool three-dimensional finish. Three-dimensional and functional. I mean, you can't put water in it functional, but like, you know what I mean? I think that's so cool. She's so creative and amazing. Okay. Two last but not least that are actually more than two things, but Almond M&M's was there. So I have at long last restocked the Skin Tone collection of her silks. This is 6 different silk colors and they're beautiful. She also has, I'm not going to take it out because it's going to be super noisy and I'm sorry, but they're really pretty and you can't fully appreciate them. So I am sorry, but she had a set of 20 colors exclusive to Market. I don't know how long they're exclusive for, but it's a set of 20 colors. They're beautiful. Like, they're beautiful. So I have them available as a full set. I will restock them and make them available in smaller groupings or individually. I don't know. Because it's, you know, it's not cheap, but her silks are super affordable. Because they're $4.50 a skein, and I forget if they're 5 or 8 yards. I should know this. I'm sorry. But they're great, and it's so good to see her. And she just ran from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, across deserts, 300 some miles on her own 2 feet, and survived and wants to like do it again. I have no words. But I have a few more words because let's talk about Cottage Garden Threads. Like I said, they were at Market. This is their first time at Market. I'm so excited for them. I've carried them in my shop for a long time. I love their threads. They're beautiful. I'm excited to see them being used in more and more designs. And they came out with something new. This is called a Stitcher's Palette, and it is a set of 4 colors. So as you can see, you have one hero thread, as they call it. That's like a super variegated color. And then you have their 3 complementary tonal variegations that like use some of those colors. And so with this little set, you are equipped to go forth and like pick your own colors and customize the design using a palette that will work together really well. And how cute is the packaging that they make them look like little pink tubes? I love it. I love it so much. So they had 6 of these come out, and I think across them there's either 4 new colors or 6 new colors. No, because this one doesn't have a new color. So I think it's 4 new colors across all of them. I'm not sure. Sorry. But this is the Yule set, Christmas. I think Yule is a totally new color. Yeah. Could have looked this up before I started talking. Too late. And there will be a Mojo Stitches design coming out at some point that uses these colors. Let me back up and say that there were 4 seasonal sets and then there's 2 holiday sets. So the 4 seasonal sets, one I'm sold out of, spring. I have more ordered and I do have them available in my shop for pre-order. They'll ship in like a month probably because Australia is far away. Did you know? So I've sold out of all of those that I haven't. The rest of these I've got or will be restocking because I'm almost out of some of them. This is the autumn one. This is the Fireplace palette. And I think that mahogany here is a new color. But see how like those all go together. You can have the most beautiful little autumnal thing. There's a Mojo Stitches pattern. She has a, I could pull it out, but I'm not going to because I know I'm out of a couple of the charts too. but there's a spring, summer, autumn, winter design that uses those, and Joanna has videos and blog posts about like how to use cottage garden threads in cross stitch, and how to like work with the variegation. It's very, very helpful and very good, and like we can be brave and stitch with things that we're not used to, like super variegated colors. This is the Mercator palette, and Treasure here on the end, this blue one, is a new color. Beautiful. The Shadows or Winter palette, and I think Shadows here is the new color. Ooh, it's so pretty. And then this is kind of a Halloween palette called the Mary Shelley palette. Mary Shelley is new. This is Nib, which is a lighter version of Storm, which is what I used in my Blackbird piece. They're just so fun. I love them so much. I love cottage garden threads. I have sold out of the Hearts for Pam thread packs, but I have more of those, and they're available for pre-order. And I think that's it as far as cottage garden threads. But it was really cool to see them. They had a cyclone go through their town like 2 weeks before market, and they were afraid they were gonna have to cancel, and her team was like, no, we are gonna make this happen. And they were like boiling pots of water on a barbecue in order to dye threads for market. Extraordinary. Okay. Oh. No, I think that's it. We've been talking for longer than I planned, but I'm really glad that we finally caught up and we talked about market and we talked about my stitching. And I hope to return sooner than later to share with you my stitching updates and maybe some other like shop news and updates, or maybe some house and studio updates, because I hope to be a little bit more unpacked here in the studio soon. And that's it. Oh, I didn't get to talk about this. My necklace. I maybe should have, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you now. Every year at market, I pick out what I call my market prize, which is a little treat for myself to reward myself for all of the hard work of market. And 2 years ago, it was a Kathy Barrick necklace, and this year it was also a Kathy Barrick necklace. Kathy Barrick, sometimes in her Etsy shop, lists these incredible necklaces that she makes out of like French antiques and things. And this one's like a kind of tame version. Sometimes they're like really kind of wild. Like they're chunky. They're like dramatic. They are statement necklaces and they're beautiful. But this one really spoke to me. It's got this sweet little silver pendant. It's got green garnets that provide a really nice counterweight. It's got one of these just like real simple. It's so nice. I wore it for Easter and it made me really happy. And I'm wearing it right now and it makes me really happy. And it was my market prize. So good job, me. Okay, I think I've talked enough. Again, thank you so much to those of you who shopped with me for market. I super appreciate you. I would not have this business if it were not for you all. Obviously, like businesses need customers to survive, but the community and the support that you guys also provide is amazing. And I thank you so much. And I feel very lucky that I get to do this as part of my job. So if you are interested in a studio tour, once things are a little bit more settled, let me know. If you're stitching any of the things that I showed, let me know. If you're stitching 324, if you tag me on Instagram, I would love that. But like, you don't have to. You should tag Arlene as the designer. But I do stalk Instagram every once in a while and check out the hashtag to try to see everyone's progress. I think that's it. Do we need to talk about anything else? Oh, yes we do. Okay, one last thing, because I can't resist. Have you been following the Fabulous Houses series from Cottage Garden Samplings? This is the latest one, Hobbit House. It's so cute. I'm not a Hobbit person, but I love this so much. This is a monthly series from Cottage Garden Samplings. Last year we had a Snowman Collector series. The year before was the Year in the Woods. This year it's Fabulous Houses. So these release once a month. I have an auto ship available in my shop. You can still join if you wish. I'll put the Google form below, or you can find it linked on any of these product pages in my shop. Let's go from the beginning. They're just so sweet. I don't know how soon I'm going to stitch them, but I'm collecting them and you can too. The first one was Santa's house. Look how sweet. So this year, all the houses are the same size. They're like 130 by 130. No, 120 by 120. Psh, it's nothing. Santa's house. One of my favorites, I think. The castle. A little Hogwartsy. I don't do Hogwarts, but it just gives like such epic castle-y, wonderful vibes. The greenhouse. This is my favorite because it has a little orange cat. And even though it's like the greenhouse and you think like summer and spring and whatever, it gives like strong winter vibes, as a greenhouse should, because like the whole point of a greenhouse, right, is you can like grow things even when it's colder outside. Is that how gardening works? I don't know. I have a yard now. I need to learn, but oh, it's just so pretty, so delicate. And then last month was the cottage, which is also so sweet. I love the little green roof. It's like Green Gables. And then now we have Hobbit House. Next month is, I forget. There's a witch house coming up. I think it's towards the end of the series. Very excited about it. There's like a farmhouse. There's a lighthouse. That might be, no, it's not next month. I forget. There's more houses and I'm very excited about it. You can join my auto ship. I also have the overdyed flosses available. This is another great series where like there's 1 or 2 colors of overdyed floss for each design, but it's otherwise DMC. Super easy, super fun. I really love it. Okay, with that, I am gonna go put all of this stuff away in my shop and I'm gonna get back to work, packing up some orders, and then I'm gonna build another filing cabinet or 2. See how far I can get today. I hope you have a wonderful stitchy day. Let me know what you're working on, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.